Continuing from the previous episode 515. Strange, why does it seem to be getting longer and longer? Several people walked through this passage for a long time, but found some problems. Wait a minute, this seems to be a circular passage. No matter how we go, we will return to the original starting point. Mufeng said. Obviously, Mufeng is very good at these things. And even the door where we just came in disappeared without a trace. Xiao Yi said slightly. Let's look for it separately. There should be some mechanism here. Otherwise, I just looked at it. Just relying on the terrifying hardness of this wall, there is no Juxing duty powerhouse that can't be broken. Mufeng said. When several people heard the words, they dispersed immediately. Each person is surrounded by fighting spirits of different colors, but fortunately, this circular passage does not have creatures like dark bats. It is just deadly silent, which makes people very uncomfortable. Here, Xiao Yan walked slowly, and then with the help of the power of flames, he clearly followed the wall. The flames slowly shone on the wall, and a strange thing suddenly appeared on the uneven part of the wall. At this moment, above the wall, a strange image appeared in Xiao Yan's line of sight. What is this? Xiao Yan got closer, only to realize that it was a painting. A rather strange painting. This painting is square, about 1 meter wide and high, but the most bizarre thing is that there is only one thing in the painting. That is, a giant hand from the sky descended from the sky, pressing directly on the ground. What is this? Xiao Yan opened his mouth slightly, but after staring at the giant hand in the painting with his pupils, a sense of insignificance spread throughout his body. No, this. The next moment, Xiao Yan also seemed to notice something abnormal, and then opened his mouth. The next moment, Xiao Yan directly put his forehead close to the painting, but discovered a very strange scene. On the picture, the giant hand in the sky spread out its 5 fingers and snapped it suddenly. At first Xiao Yan thought it was just a giant hand in the sky, but now Xiao Yan found out that under the giant hand in the sky, there was an extremely hard-to-find path. Cracks. Looking through the crack, it seems to be a small lifelike creature. The creature's body shone with black and purple light, and its human-sized palm lifted slightly, directly resisting the giant hand that descended from the sky. As for the intersection of the palms of the black-purple creature and the giant hand in the sky, there seems to be something, but because the picture is too small, Xiao Yan didn't notice it. What the asterisk is this? Xiao Yan was puzzled after reading it. Elder Long, what is this? Xiao Yan asked in his heart. To be honest, I have never seen this. Long Yi said, forget it, let's look first to see if there is any agency nearby. Xiao Yan also gave up the idea of continuing to study this weird picture, and then prepared to swim around. Squeak! Just as he lifted his left foot and took a step, a very pleasant voice suddenly echoed in this space. He stepped on it with one foot, and then a dark stone under Xiao Yan's feet trembled strangely, and then the stone wall in front of Xiao Yan suddenly cracked. Boom, boom, boom. Then the 2 sides of the stone wall slowly pushed away, revealing a passage. I found it. Xiao Yan hesitated, then said. However, why did that picture disappear? Xiao Yan shook his head slowly, not paying too much attention to this strange picture, but calling for a few people to come over. The distance from the other people to Xiao Yan was extremely short, so just as Xiao Yan made a sound, the other people noticed it and immediately came towards the place where Xiao Yan was. Big brother is worthy of being a big brother. Xiao Yi first came to Xiao Yan's side, patted Xiao Yan's shoulder, and said quite funny. In this regard, Xiao Yan was also quite helpless. This Xiao Yi really looked like a younger brother in front of him. Have you all arrived? Xiao Yan also said aloud when he saw that the 5 had arrived. Yep, Xiao Yan, what do you mean by that? Mufeng, who was beside him, just came here, and was staring carefully around the entrance of the stone wall, as if he was observing something. It's okay, let's go. Xiao Yan shook his head, obviously not knowing why he said such a sentence. Wait a minute. The next moment, Mu Yingying suddenly said coldly. What? Xiao Yi immediately frowned upon hearing this. There seems to be something weird here. Mu Yingying said firmly. Be vigilant, go and have a look first. Xiao Yan exuded an extremely large amount of flame power, and then stepped directly into the stone gate. I hope it's my illusion. Mu Yingying shook her head and tried her best not to think about those things, but on her chest, a tiny blue flame was beating violently like a heartbeat. With such an appearance, Mu Yingying knew clearly that it was only when she encountered an unmatched powerhouse. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Coem. However, under the isolation of Mu Yingying's clothes, the other people didn't find out. After all, the other 4 people at this time were all focused on the passage in front of them. Mu Yingying and the others followed. Xiaoyan, why didn't you leave? Xiaoyan stopped before a few people had walked 10 steps, and then Mu Feng asked in confusion. In front, there seems to be a fork. Xiaoyan said slowly. After speaking, he raised his finger and pointed to the left and right. How can there be 2 paths? Mu Feng was also surprised when he saw this. Obviously, even for Mu Feng, Mu couldn't make up his mind about this situation. Here, it seems to be the way to enter the desert area. It's just that I vaguely heard from the seniors of the snake people that this desert area is full of too many unknowns. The most important one is that there are 2 roads. Both roads can lead to the core of the desert area, but it's not certain what you will encounter. Green Flute stepped forward and stared at the 2 roads in front of him. Road. This should be the entrance to the desert area. No one can guarantee what is inside, so to prevent accidents, we should go together. Mu Yingying saw that several people were silent, and then she spoke, and then she stared at Xiao directly. Inflammation. We must go together. But do you want to go to the left or the right? Xiaoyan saw that the few people had no idea. Immediately, the huge soul force emerged directly and gathered towards the 2 roads that were as pitch black as a bottomless pit. Shabu. The invisible soul power was like a gust of breeze, and Yu Kanshu link to www.yukanshu.com blew away toward the depths of Ertong Road. As time passed by, Xiaoyan still had nothing to do, because the 2 powers that came out were without any information feedback. Choose anyone. The next moment, Xiaoyan also danced. No, it's too hasty. If we choose the wrong one, our situation will be even more difficult. Green Flute was the first to disagree with Xiaoyan's approach. As a Green Flute who once lived among the Medusa clan in the lonely desert of death, he had no idea about the various legends in the desert. Impressive. These 2 roads are dangerous and peaceful roads. The dangerous road is full of too many variables along the way, and the safe road can not only get more wealth along the way, but also get some adventures. Then what better way do you have? Xiaoyan said after seeing that several people did not speak. No. Green Dip was speechless. Obviously what Xiaoyan said was true. Then let's take a random walk. Xiaoyan said casually. After speaking, Xiaoyan strode up and walked towards the road on the left. Hey! Green Flute sighed slightly, but just as he was about to say something, a reassuring voice came from Xiaoyan. Don't worry. If there is any danger, I, Xiaoyan, will stand in the first place. A simple and flat voice made everyone feel warm. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 516. In that case, let's go. Don't forget that we are a whole. The Green Flute opened his mouth slightly. Obviously all the worries had been turned into nothingness in Xiaoyan's last voice. Right. They are a whole in the burning incense pavilion and are inseparable. Want to come to this experience? It is also what Zhu Lao prepared to sharpen them. After all, a person's strength is limited. After all, not everyone has the terrifying ability of a battle formation master, so the importance of teamwork is reflected. Since Zhu Lao will send them here, there will definitely be no problem. Let's go. Several people nodded slightly, then directly followed Xiaoyan. The group of 5 had just stepped into the passage on the left, when the second passage behind them disappeared instantly. It seems that there is no way out. Mu Feng shrugged helplessly. Shabu! Just when Mu Feng was helpless, a sound of breaking wind sounded, and then in the extremely dark passage, on the walls on the left and right sides, lights appeared instantly, and then illuminated the way forward. In the passage, the lights are bright, and in the center of the passage, circles of rather funny small stones are paving the way. I can't tell that the owner here enjoys it quite a bit. With Xiaoyi's eyesight, it was naturally not difficult to find out that the stones laying in the ground were definitely not ordinary, and there were also those lights. It seems that the creatures in this desert area should know that we are coming, and have been waiting for us for a long time. Xiaoyan said slowly. Xiaoyan, remember you said before that you need something, what exactly? I want to come to this desert area with a lot of things. It shouldn't be difficult to find it. Mu Yingying said quite carefully. The things I still need now are the 6th Order Ice Attribute Emperor-grade Demon Core and its blood essence. Xiaoyan said slowly. Devouring the holy flame is no joke. Although Mu Yingying tried her best to suppress the holy flame in her body, Xiaoyan could vaguely feel that the holy flame was much stronger than the strange flame, so if he is not well prepared, even Xiaoyan would not dare to devour Shengyan rashly. However, according to some obscure records in Fenju and the words of his master, the Golden Dragon King, there are 3 things that need to be prepared for devouring the holy flame. 7 flame flowers, Shu Shengdan, blood spirit ice liquid. These 3 materials are indispensable. The blood spirit ice liquid, Xiaoyan had already obtained it when he was in the Yin Corpse Forest. As for Qi Yan Hua, Xiaoyan already had San Yan Hua in his hand. At best it was barely enough, so at this time Xiaoyan only had Shu Shengdan left. Among the Shu Shengdan, the only thing missing is a 6th rank Emperor-grade Demon Core and its blood essence. This is what troubles Xiaoyan the most. Is it comparable to an ice attribute demon beast comparable to a human 6-star Do D? Mu Yingying opened her mouth slightly, obviously thinking deeply. Let's go first. I think the desert area will not let us down. Xiaoyan smiled slowly, but there was a reassuring mysterious power in his voice. Susu. In just a few minutes, the group stepped out of the passage and came to a wide place. This place should be in the desert area. Xiaoyan had just left the passage when he came to a rather ancient forest, then raised his head slightly, and suddenly saw the vast space that stretched out, and said immediately. In front of him, there are mountains, lakes, forests and some obscure and powerful atmosphere. Xinya 81 Zhang Wei and Wang Yu. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem the green plants permeated the surroundings, making Xiaoyan and the others feel a sense of relief. If you think it is right, this should be a desert mountain range. It is said that after entering the life path, if you pass through it instantly, you will encounter a desert mountain range. All the treasures in the desert area are hidden in this desert mountain range. It's a place where crises and opportunities coexist. Green Flute said slightly, apparently living in the Medusa clan and hearing about this desert area. What is the desert mountain range? Xiaoyan was slightly surprised when he heard the words. Apparently this Green Flute knew this kind of secret. What a fresh air. Before a few people could finish speaking, Mu Yingying smiled happily. Her voice was extremely cheerful, like a child exuding the purest smile. Slow down. Seeing this, Xiaoyan shouted helplessly, and immediately followed, but he murmured, why isn't there any other aura here? Is it my illusion? On the side of Xiao Yi and the others, their eyes slowly drifted away. Unknown places are the most terrifying. Strange, there seems to be a current of water around us. Just as Xiaoyan and the others moved, Xiaoyan's huge soul force scattered out, exploring all directions. It's just that the detection range was only a few hundred meters, but these few hundred meters made Xiaoyan quite depressed. Because according to Xiaoyan's investigation results, the place where they were at this time was only at the bottom of the mountain range. As for the top of the mountain, there seemed to be some kind of behemoth hidden, but because the mist surrounding the mountain range was too thick, Xiaoyan's eyesight and exploration are limited, and he has only detected this information. Xiaoyan and the others came to the desert mountain range through the passage, but at this time, the place they were in was like a small hill with a radius of 50 meters, and the hill was surrounded by water. We've already entered the desert mountain range, everyone be careful and don't get distracted. Xiaoyan's eyes kept scanning the surroundings, and then he said. When Mu Yingying heard the words, she turned her head and said to Xiaoyan, the air here is really fresh, but why do I feel a strange feeling? I always feel that something is wrong. After Mu Yingying finished speaking, she slightly raised her jade-white forehead, revealing a smooth neck. When Mu Yingying saw the top of the mountain, her eyelids suddenly jumped violently, as if she had encountered something terrifying. The next moment, the blue flames in Mu Yingying's body instantly appeared, and then surrounded her body. A coercion of automatic master suddenly radiated from Mu Yingying's body. What's going on? Seeing this, Xiaoyan immediately became vigilant, and an uneasy feeling spread throughout his heart. Immediately, Xiaoyan turned around suddenly, but saw that the lake water surrounding the hilltop trembled strangely. Although the shaking was extremely linked to small www.novelmtl.com, it still couldn't escape Xiaoyan's perception. Xiaoyi, Ludi, Mufeng, get out of here. Leave this hill surrounded by water. Xiao Yan seemed to realize something and suddenly drank it. Let's go! Xiao Yi did not hesitate when she heard the words. Regarding Xiao Yan, Xiao Yi chose to believe it unconditionally. Although she was puzzled, her figure moved instantly. Shabu shabu. The next moment, following Xiao Yan and Mu Yingying's 5 peoples lift off, the hill under the feet of the 5 peoples suddenly trembled strangely, and then the forest trees suddenly rose a distance of tens of meters. It's just that everyone was suspended in the air, and before they had time to be surprised, they looked down the tree, and a 4-limbed creature suddenly appeared without knowing what it was. On the backs of the 4-limbed creatures, the forest trees collapsed instantly. There were also violent ripples on the surface of the water surrounding the hill. Roar! An angry roar echoed in the bottom layer of this desert mountain range. Its fur is like jade, it is transparent and white, it is huge, and it looks like it should be a monster. Xiao Yi said with sharp eyes. A monster? I didn't expect to encounter such a terrifying beast just after entering this desert mountain range. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, his eyes suddenly became hot. Because Xiao Yan felt a cold aura from this monster. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 517. Xiao Yi, can you be sure what kind of monster this is? Xiao Yan floated in the sky and said to Xiao Yi. It's not certain yet, but looking at the fluctuations in this creature, one thing is certain. The lowest level of this beast is also the 6th rank emperor. Xiao Yi said with great interest. Although the behemoth in front of him has an extremely huge body, Xiao Yi is not afraid, because Xiao Yi is a fire elf, and Xiao Yi's current strength is that of an 8-star fighting emperor. The body in front of him is close to 100 meters, but at best, in Xiao Yi's eyes, it does not pose a threat. A monster at the 6th rank of the emperor? The next moment, Mu Feng next to Xiao Yi spoke, and there was a hint of hesitation in his voice. The emperor-level monsters are already comparable to the level of human fighting emperors. From the 1st to 10th rank of emperors, each level can be equal to the level of human fighting emperors. A 6th grade monster of the emperor rank is comparable to a human 6-star fighting emperor. 6-star Do Di is a watershed among Do Di. Countless geniuses of heaven are stuck here, and they will never be able to cross it in their entire lives. The reason why it is said that the 6-star Do Emperor is the watershed of the Do Emperor is because every human being promoted to the 6-star Do Emperor needs to undergo the baptism of heavenly tribulation. The baptism of this catastrophe is extremely terrifying. If you are not careful, you may fall directly. But as long as you stick to the past, you will find some wonderful changes in the Do Qi in your body. Although that kind of change is not comparable to the power of life and death of a strong Do Xian, the Do Qi after the baptism of the 6-star Do Emperor heavenly tribulation is better than before the 6-star Do Emperor. Undoubtedly much stronger. This is also the reason why Zhu Lao let Xiao Yan and the others soak in the Xuanling Emperor Pond. The magical effect of the Xuanling Emperor Pond may not be manifested in normal times, but only when they are promoted to the 6-star Do Emperor. The energy absorbed by Xiao Yan and the others in the Xuanling Emperor Pond will be manifested. Moreover, it is said that there are some detailed divisions of the heavenly tribulation of the 6-star Do Emperor. It's comparable to a human 6-star Do Emperor level of Warcraft. It's a little tricky, Mu Feng said slightly. Except for Xiao Yi's strength, most of the others were in the early and middle stages of the 5-star Do Emperor. A magical beast that is comparable to a human 6-star Do Di is still quite difficult. How's it going? Xiao Yan smiled indifferently, and a coercion that was not afraid of it instantly permeated out. You can give it a try. Mu Yingying seemed to understand Xiao Yan's meaning, and then her lips curved into a charming arc. Yes! The next moment, Mu Feng and LVDI spoke directly. I'll come too. Of course Xiao Yi wouldn't let go of the excitement, she spoke directly, ready to start. You don't need it, the 4 of us are enough for this 6th-ranked demon beast. You are responsible for alerting us. It's just right, I haven't been active for a long time, and I forgot the feeling of fighting. Xiao Yan finished speaking, and his whole body burst into flames. Go! First try to see the attributes and strength of this monster. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he launched the attack first. The figure exploded, and with the help of the high temperature of the flame, the surrounding space became extremely hot. Shabu! The terrifying speed was accompanied by the sound of breaking wind, and the flame power in Xiao Yan's body flickered directly. The next moment, when Xiaoyan's figure appeared, he was already directly above the huge creature's body. "Eat my palm!" With a loud shout, Xiaoyan's hand, the flame condensed on the fist, suddenly swung down at the huge creature below. "Cricket!" A strange voice suddenly sounded, and then Xiao Yi saw that the huge creature's body suddenly trembled, and then cleverly avoided Xiaoyan's attack. How could it be? Xiaoyan also discovered this strange thing, and immediately said, the flames all over his body kept beating, like a furnace that never goes out. "Banka!" A loud voice continued to sound, and then the huge creature's body shook. Boom, boom, boom. The soil trees on the backs of the huge creatures fell instantly, making this space dusty. "Retreat first." After a brief hesitation, Xiaoyan gave up the attack, stood side by side with Mu Yingying and the others, and then looked at this huge creature. As the forest covering the huge creature fell off, the creature also revealed its true colors. From a distance, this is a fierce beast with strong limbs. The snow-white fluff looks quite supple, but on the fluff, a trace of ice flakes emerges, and the cold spreads out immediately. Looking at the head of the huge creature, a terrifying aura permeated. On the forehead of the huge creature, there was a capital letter King, and the pupils were amber, which was quite supernatural. With the breeze blowing, the fluff of this huge creature swayed faintly. The next moment, the temperature in this space dropped suddenly. "What the asterisk is this?" Mu Yingying said in surprise, obviously shocked by this behemoth. The snow-white fluff and amber pupils filled with a domineering, terrifying aura, and the coldness emanating from her body made Mu Yingying tremble slightly. "This creature seems to be of the ice attribute," Mu Feng also said in surprise. Obviously, the monsters of the imperial rank already possess extremely high intelligence, and most of them live in groups, so this has created the scarcity of monsters and blood essence of the monsters above the imperial rank. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Wu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Co M. After all, the strength of each emperor-level monster may not be terrible, but a large group of emperor-level monsters gathered together may be enough to make many people stay away. However, in some of the ruins, the beasts exist alone, so Xiaoyan is not worried. Originally, I felt linked to www.novelmtl.com. We just entered the desert mountain range, and I vaguely felt some extremely obscure and powerful aura, but in this small mountain forest, there is no one. Breath. It turns out that we are actually on the back of the beast. Xiaoyan stared at the huge creature in front of him, and then said slowly. Sure enough. The next moment, Mu Yingying noticed it and said immediately. This beast is white all over, and I am afraid that in this desert mountain range, it is also the existence of the overlord of the land. I just don't know what kind of beast it is. Green Flute said, and then a toxin faintly appeared on his body, always ready to deal with the sudden attack of the beast. It turned out to be an ice-marked Tianhu. Xiaoyan looked at it for a while, and immediately discovered the true face of this beast. Natural overlord, snow-white fluff. Ice attribute. I didn't expect that luck would be so good. I just came in and encountered an ice-type monster. I just don't know what class this monster is. Xiaoyan murmured, and a sense of excitement hit. As long as he obtains the magic core and blood essence of the ice attribute beast, Xiaoyan can refine Shu Shengden, and in cooperation with the other two, Xiaoyan has the capital to refine the holy flame. This monster must be killed no matter what, Xiaoyan said suddenly, and a murderous aura emerged on this hill. Who disturbed this emperor's sleep? A voice with dissatisfaction suddenly came from the mouth of the ice-marked tiger. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 518. Who disturbed this emperor's sleep? The coercive voice echoed in this space for a long time. Immediately, a white cold air suddenly spread out from the ice-marked Tianhu. Crash! The next moment, a vibrant breath suddenly filled the hilltop. Tisk tisk, the strength of this frost-scar Tianhu. I am afraid that at least it has the 6th rank of the Emperor. If the 6th rank of the Emperor is also in line with the magic core and blood essence that Big Brother needs. However, I vaguely remember that this Shu Shengden is a 2nd-grade Emperor-level medicinal pill, and the eldest brother is only a 1st-grade Emperor-rank peak alchemist, so it is quite difficult for this Zhu Shengden. People are far away, and then slowly open their mouths. It's just that this desert mountain is really weird. When you look up, it's surrounded by fog, as if something is hiding. And in this desert mountain range, there seems to be something familiar and frightening to me. Strange. Xiao Yi looked up at the sky, under the condition of blurred vision surrounded by fog. The power of strange fire in her body was all shake slightly. As expected of the frozen Tianhu. Seeing this, Mu Feng said slowly, a feeling of excitement spread throughout his body. Let's make a move, make a quick decision. Xiao Yan said slowly. After he finished speaking, the speed exploded instantly, and the ice-scarred Tianhu who was standing on the ground exploded away. It's been a long time since humans have appeared in this place, because the humans who have appeared have died without exception. Bingen Tianhu said coldly, but the pride in his voice could not be concealed. Really? Xiao Yan came to frozen Tianhu's side in a short time. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem. Although this frost scar heavenly tiger is extremely proud, it has its own pride, which is comparable to a human beast with a 6-star Do Emperor, and it should be the same in the face of Xiao Yan and several other 5-star Do Emperors. And only when he came to the side of the frozen Tianhu, did Xiao Yan realize the horror of this frozen Tianhu. The snow-white fluff all over his body seemed soft, but in fact it was protected by the frozen ice. Even if Xiao Yan strikes with all his strength now, it may not be able to directly destroy this fluff. The chills that swept people's hearts kept forcing Xiao Yan to separate out a lot of fighting chi to resist. Great heavens, fortune palm! A light snort appeared from Xiao Yan's mouth, and then a terrifying wave was born in his hand. Go! The next moment, Xiao Yan's palm suddenly pushed forward, and the energy on the palm suddenly surged up to the size of 100 meters, and then suddenly roared towards the ice-marked Tianhu who was close at hand. Beyond our own power, frozen Tianhu raised his arrogant forehead, and his amber pupils became focused. Xiao Yan just launched the great heavens fortune palm, and his strength was also detected by this frost scar heavenly tiger. In the early days of this little human 5-star Do Emperor, he wanted to shake his dominance. It's too self-sufficient. As soon as he finished speaking, the frozen Tianhu snorted suddenly, and an extremely pure white cold air emerged instantly. Little human wants to challenge me? A disdain appeared from the mouth of the ice-marked Tianhu, and then the cold breath instantly turned into an extremely sharp ice spear. The ice spear is covered in snow white, and although it is extremely small, the terrifying aura above the ice spear is very huge, and the cold light at the tip of the ice spear is shocked. Snow spear! A loud roar roared out of Bingenxian's mouth, and immediately slapped it viciously with Xiao Yan's huge handprint of the energy of the great heaven's good fortune. Boom boom boom! The terrifying Dacian fortune palm and snow spear collided directly, and then the terrifying energy of the sky flew everywhere. Humph! You, a human, seem to have a second chance. Frozen Tianhu said slightly, but the amber pupils were quite surprised. His own strength is obviously much stronger than this young man. Why does this young man have a feeling that even the frost marks can't see through? Moreover, what puzzled Tianhu Bingen the most was the terrifying flame on Xiao Yan's body. Ice-marked Tianhu has enough confidence, and the ice attribute he already has is very terrifying. With some of his own methods, I am afraid that the 7-star Do Emperor of mankind is enough to fight, but when facing the initial strength of Xiao Yan, the 5-star Do Emperor, he actually let him frozen Tianhu had an uneasy feeling. This ice-marked Tianhu is really difficult to solve. Xiao Yan stabilized his figure, and then spoke slowly. In the fight just now, Xiao Yan could feel that the ice-marked Tianhu's strong ice attributes might be far more powerful than some 6-star fighting emperors. The battle in the sky subsided in an instant, and Xiao Yan and the others started to fight. This frozen Tianhu can actually use fighting skills? The green flute on the side asked suspiciously, and the beautiful eyes showed a moment of confusion. This is not a fighting skill. It is the power created by the frozen scar heaven tiger based on its own strength. But it is not an exaggeration to say that it is a fighting skill. Xiao Yan said. In the seemingly simple battle just now, Xiao Yan already had a basic judgment in his heart. The strength of the ice-marked Tianhu in front of him is definitely at the 6th grade emperor rank, and his attribute is ice, which is exactly what he needs. Human, although you seem to have something in your body, this is not the place you should come. If you don't want to die, just quit. A vicissitudes of life said slowly. It's been a lot of hard work to come here, but it's not so easy to back down. Xiao Yan said calmly. The next moment, just as Xiao Yan and the others were about to take action to defeat the frost-marked Tianhu, an evil wind suddenly blew in. This wind is weird. Mu Feng suddenly drank, and then a mysterious blue light instantly covered the bodies of the five. What is that? Mu Yingying was linked to shocked www.novelmtl.com. When the evil wind appeared just now, it blew her to the bone. Mu Yingying has the strength in the middle stage of the 5-star Do Emperor, and she possesses holy flame, so her strength can be imagined. Even Mu Yingying felt this way, not to mention the others. Everyone, be careful, Xiao Yan screamed in a hurry, and then the huge soul power was in full possession, forming a double layer of protection with Mu Feng's dark blue vindictive aura. Damn, calm down for me. The next moment, when Xiao Yan's eyes were on the ice-marked Tianhu, he suddenly saw a black beam of light coming fast. The black light beam is like thunder, emerging from the dense fog above. And when this black light beam appeared, the palm of Xiao Yan's hand, which was inhabited by the Soul Eater talisman, jumped violently. This black beam of light is astonishingly the same as the black gas on the giant white rock at the entrance of the desert area with Xiao Yan and the others. Not good. Why is this thing coming again? With a loud roar, the amber pupils of the ice-marked Tianhu shrank tightly, and his body moved instantly, trying his best to escape the black beam. Crack! With a sound, Xiao Yan and the others were still in the air, but after the black beam appeared, the pressure in the sky increased greatly, causing Xiao Yan and the others to give up and then came to the ground. Superior, what's going on with this Soul Eater talisman today? Xiao Yan was surprised, and then looked at the formerly majestic Ling Ling hungry ice tiger in front of him. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 519. What's going on here? Green Flute and Mu Yingying looked at each other slightly, and then looked at each other. This frozen Tianhu is a powerhouse that is comparable to the human 6-star Do D, and now he is chased by a black beam of light and flees all over the sky. This is too inconsistent with the pride of this frozen Tianhu. Elder Long, what's going on? Xiao Yan was quite puzzled, so he had no choice but to ask his Yuo Heng ancient ruler for help. This thing seems to be a trace of evil, a trace of something that is enough to control the souls of others or even the body. The strange fire Henguchi behind Xiao Yan was slightly surprised, obviously not knowing why there was such a thing. Damn! Under this strange evil wind, our bodies are deadlocked. Xiao Yan cursed secretly. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem. After the appearance of this strange evil wind, Xiao Yan and the others felt that the crowding force in the sky was too terrifying, and they could not support them with the strength of their 5-star fighting emperor, so they could only come to the ground. As for the ice-marked Tianhu, the amber pupils became dignified, as if they were extremely afraid of the black beam, and then fled everywhere. Damn it! How did this thing come to the first floor? Isn't this thing only available on the last second floor? Back then, I was injured by that character and stayed here forever. The ice-marked Tianhu moved quickly, constantly dealing with the black beam. It can't be delayed anymore. This black light beam is weird. Let's take action together and solve it. Otherwise, things will change. Xiao Yan's pupils flickered with solemnity, and then he said. The next moment, Xiao Yan directly took off the ancient eternal fire ruler behind him, and then a terrifying flame with 23 colors appeared. Seeing this, Mu Feng was extremely sensitive to the ghosts in the ghost world due to the peculiarity of the exercises in his body, so he had some special feelings about the black beam. It's really strange. This thing doesn't seem like the spirit of the ghost world? What the asterisk is it? It can be so evil. After Mu Feng finished speaking, his body was filled with a dark blue vindictive energy, and his eyes looked directly at the black figure behind Bingen Tianhu. Beam! This thing! Could it be the foreign evil clan that Xiao Yan said? Mu Yingying tilted her head slightly, glanced at Xiao Yan, who was extremely dignified, and whispered. Let's go! The green flute said softly, and then the green fighting chi suddenly emerged, the speed increased sharply, and it suddenly went towards the ice-marked tiger. Wait, let them fight first. Long Yi suddenly said. Afterwards, although Xiao Yan was puzzled, he stayed with everyone. As for Xiao Yi, she stayed put. Asshole, why are you always chasing me? Frozen Tianhu screamed in the sky, causing some other beasts to keep making fearful sounds in the nearby forest. Since you insist on doing this, this emperor will not let you have a better life. After struggling for a while, Frozen Tianhu realized that he couldn't break the pursuit of the black beam no matter what, and immediately said angrily. The next moment, the body of Frozen Tianhu suddenly changed. On top of the snow-white fluff, extremely conspicuous chills emerged one after another. This chill was different from what Xiao Yan had seen before. The cold air just now can only be regarded as a small disturbance at best, and now this frost scar heavenly tiger is the real alert state. When the black beam saw the ice-marked Tianhu stop, it also stopped moving, and then stood slightly in the air. Heavenly crampons. A loud shout appeared, and then the sharp front claws of the ice-marked Tianhu suddenly lifted, slashing viciously at the space where the black beam was in front of him. The next moment, under the claws of the ice-marked tiger, 3 extremely sharp icicles suddenly appeared, and then crashed towards the black beam. Snort! The 3 icicles produced by the crampons were mysteriously melted away at a distance of 1 meter from the black beam. Then it turned into a mist and dissipated in this space. What? Frozen Tianhu was shocked when he saw this. My own crampons are enough to kill the average 6-star Do Emperor. How could they be so vulnerable under this black beam? Susu. After the black light beam melted the crampons, the speed skyrocketed, and then it went directly to the ice-marked Tianhu. The speed is extremely fast, and an evil force that kills everything constantly emerges from the black beam. Bastard! Seeing this, Bingen Tianhu didn't dare to neglect. The hair all over his body stood up, and a fear of death permeated his heart. Ice Mark! A mad laugh suddenly appeared from the mouth of the ice-marked Tianhu, and then in front of the ice-marked Tianhu, a huge crack appeared out of thin air. In the crack, a terrifying ice beam nearly 100 meters in size appeared. At the time when the terrifying ice glow appeared, this space condensed slightly, and the temperature instantly dropped to below 0. There were even strands of ice on the trees next to the human beings, and even the river froze instantly. Cavity. An extremely sharp voice instantly appeared from the crack in front of the ice-marked Tianhu, and then the cold air flowed everywhere, and the icy glow on the body left the crack and flew towards the black beam. The black beam also seemed to realize that this thing was not easy to mess with. Immediately around the black beam, an extremely majestic evil force continued to emerge, and the black beam was surrounded by water in a short period of time. Clang! With a sound, like the sound of glass breaking, the sharp ice beam was instantly shattered by the black beam. However, the light on the black beam was also dimmed a bit. Obviously, the ice beam is not a fuel-efficient lamp. Immediately, the black light beam was not in a hurry, and went towards the ice-marked Tianhu. Hey! It seems that I still can't escape this disaster. Bingen Tianhu said slowly. There seemed to be a hint of relief in his eyes, and then he closed his eyes. The next moment, a scar covered by fluff appeared on the frozen Tianhu. A trace of evil power flows around this scar, exactly the same as the black beam in front of it. It's just that Xiao Yan and the others didn't find it. Shabu! The black light beam cut off the forehead and body of the frozen Tianhu directly like cutting vegetables. It's just that the forehead and around the body, traces of black gas-like flames are constantly flowing. It's so cruel. Mu Yingying couldn't help but say something. Mei Mu couldn't bear to look directly. Although I don't know what this black beam linked to iswww.novelmtl.com but the power is too terrifying. Now this ice-marked Tianhu is dead. If you don't do anything, the magic core and blood essence will be lost. Do it! After Xiao Yan finished speaking, a monstrous aura emerged, and then he spoke the unusually dazzling light from the ancient ruler of the eternal fire in his hand, and went towards the black beam. After the black beam killed the frozen Tianhu, it seemed that he did not give up and planned to do something, but before he had time to do it, Xiao Yan appeared beside the frozen Tianhu. There is a magic core! Mu Feng, who was behind Xiao Yan, shouted excitedly. At this time, Xiao Yan stared at the black light beam in front of him, and a chill emerged from his heart. However, the Soul Eater talisman in Xiao Yan's palm exudes a more fiery aura. It feels like he wants to swallow the black beam in front of him. Xiao Yan, leave it to us here. Go and subdue the demon core and blood essence of this frozen Tianhu. Mu Yingying spoke slightly. Give me 3 minutes. Xiao Yan said in a deep voice, and also knew the current form. Don't say 3 minutes, 10 minutes will be fine. Mu Feng responded, and then surrounded Xiao Yan with Mu Yingying and Green Flute. Strange, although this strange black light beam is extremely terrifying, it shouldn't be like this. How can this ice-marked tiger be so weak? Xiao Yan murmured, and then regardless of Mu Yingying and others, he squatted down and looked at the ice-marked Tianhu, which had lost its vitality and was divided into two halves. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter.